pop, pop. Hi, this is Namli. Yesterday I talked about Tahujjud, and today I will also talk about the same topic. My son had recently traveled from Qatar on vacations to Pakistan. Around about a week ago, he was out with his friends, and he called me up around about 9 p.m. saying, "Mom, I've lost my wallet." First reaction was naturally, "Oh no." Then, "Chalo, kuch nahi hota, hota hai." Then he told me, "Ki Mom, it had my Qatar ID in it." Now this was something big because his flight was due 3 days later. Behral, I told him to come home, let's see कि आगे क्या करना है. अच्छा, don't cut again. Shayan, cut from here and I'll take the story. अच्छा. So my son came home and I told him I'd look in the car. He'd gone in his friend's car. उसकी गाड़ी की मैंने इंजर पिंजर नहीं छोड़ा. मैं हर थोड़ी देर बाद अंदर आती थी, वापस जाती थी कि शायद वॉलेट हो, लेकिन ना वॉलेट गाड़ी में था ना मिलना था. He left back with his friend. He went to all the sectors he had visited. He asked people, लेकिन of course wallet नहीं मिलना था. 3 days later was his flight. It was very, very stressful. We called up Qatar Airways at 10 p.m. and they said there is no way he can enter Qatar without his ID. Of course, then वो रात कैसे गुजरी, क्या होगा, क्या नहीं होगा. I got up at Tahujjud and I just said, Allah, you have to do something. And I remember saying with so much belief कि kun faya kun. And I remember saying, Allah, be and it is. Allah, आपके लिए तो कुछ है ही नहीं. आपने बस कहना वो मिल जाएगा या वो documents ready हो जाएगी. By now, even though I was praying for the wallet to be found, I knew it was impossible because it didn't have a lot of money. But the problem was कि अगर मिलना होता मिल जाता. So I just wanted, I was asking Allah कि किसी तरह आप ये procedure जो है, इतने दिनों का ना हो. And all the way in the next morning from my home to school, I read Hasbunallahi wa ni'mal wakeel. And I read it with so much conviction, कि Allah ही काफ़ी है, And I came here and, I was constantly walking and reading it. I started making, a few phone calls. And I found out that there were 3 steps involved. I had to cut an FIR, I had to get the document tested from the Foreign Office, and then I had to, deposit the documents in a company called Sasha. They would send it to the Qatar Embassy. The Qatar Embassy would test the documents, and then now I had 2 days to do this. So, I called them up and they said that I found out that your attestation mein usme 2 weeks lag rahe due to Corona. You had to send it to TCS. I got the FIR done thanks to one of my colleagues. He took my son FIR ho gaya, it took an hour. Then I remember one of my colleagues had mentioned that she had, her brother-in-law worked at the Foreign Office. So, Alhamdulillah, she said no problem at all. My son went, it took 3 hours, documents got attested. Just before Sasha's office was about to be closed, he just reached 10 minutes before and, they said, okay, they'd send his documents. Yahan tak to theek tha. But I came home, I posted a status on Facebook asking if anyone knew, about Sasha, the company, so I could speed up the process. To my amazement, that company turned out to be one of my students' dad's company. So I talked to the father, I explained the situation, and he told me he'd, fully help, in any possible way. The next morning, again, it was so much stress going on, and I called up the company and they said, "Ke humne documents bhej diye, don't worry, inshallah ho jayega." But of course, it was, it was Wednesday at, Wednesday and Friday morning at, he had to be at the airport at 6 o'clock. So I wanted 1 day cushion period just in case things went wrong. Had dua padti, and at 4 o'clock, my son calls me up and he's like, "Mom," I'm like, "What?" He's like, "My wallet has been found." And I'm like, "Are you crazy? It's been 2 days. He's like, "No, Mom, mil gaya wallet." And I go, "Acha, I still couldn't believe it. I go, "Acha, jab mil jaye, then, when you go and collect it, then tell me." So the wallet had actually been found. A driver found it in D12 and he picked it up, and my son's license wasn't there, and that had my husband's emergency number listed in it. So he called up my husband and my son went and he collected the wallet, and that was it. At the same time, half an hour later, the company called me up saying Qatar Embassy had sent his documents back and they were tested, and now there would be no problem in traveling. 2 things which seem impossible, and they actually were impossible at that time. Like, both of them got done. And I don't just think this is a coincidence या होना था. I mean, of course होना था, उसकी किस्मत में था, उसका दाना पानी उसी दिन था, Friday को कतर का. But the fact that, I got, I read Tahujjud, the fact that I asked God, the fact that I believed in my dua, and, you know, especially the fact that I believe, you know, कि Allah is always looking out for us. I called my bhabhi the night before, and I told her, you know, I go, Sana, ye ho raha hai. And I go, Sana, inshallah tum dekhna. And she, you know, what she said, she goes, तुम्हारा यकीन इतना ज़्यादा है कि हो जाएगा. You know, मुझे पूरा यकीन है हो जाएगा. That even gave me more confidence. And honestly, you know, जब आप दुआ मांगते हो और आप उसको इतनी conviction से मांगते हो और आप इतने उसको दिल से मांगते हैं, it has to be right from the heart. And you just know when it's reached the heavens. You know it. You know, and I was so calm. Of course there was, I'm not going to say मैंने कहा, oh यार, of course, no, of course, you know, with all these things does come stress. No matter how much, you know, you pray for something, वो एक stress होता है, you know, कि क्या पता इसमें अल्लाह को कोई और बेहतरीन नजर आ रही है जो हमें अभी नहीं नजर आ रही. You know, I was preparing myself for all of this stuff, but you know, I really wanted him to go because you know, I didn't want कि आगे पता नहीं क्या होगा, you know, would things get more difficult and all that. Lekin, you know, I woke up, you know, and I prayed and I went in sujood and I said, Kun fayakun, God, please help me, you know, let this happen, you know. इसलिए जब भी आपको कोई ऐसा मसला हो where you think कि नहीं हो ही नहीं सकता, एक तो याद रखना, there's no such thing as हो ही नहीं सकता. For Allah, nothing is impossible. मैं तो यहाँ तक कहती हूँ, God forbid, if you have a disease such as cancer, even depression. You know, people say depression, don't, आप लोग कहते हैं कि दुआ करे, you know, this is wrong. I agree, you have to have medicine, absolutely. There is nothing. Cancer के लिए भी medicine है, but then of course there is also that duai with dua, met with, you know, prayers. Both of things together is a perfect formula for anything. Believe in yourself, believe in God, you know, call out to Him. We all have our, you know, bad times. We all have our tough days. We all have things which, you know, we've gone through where we think, bas ab nahi. But we all do wake up the next morning. We all do hope there is a better tomorrow. I promise you, there will be better times. Zindagi mein har gham ke baad koi na koi sukh zarur aata hai. You just have to believe it. Thank you so much. This is Mamvi signing off. If you like my video, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you.